Welcome along, guys. This is the ERC Monaco Grand Prix. It is 100% race, and we're going to have a bit of fun today. Of course, we're running live telemetry here this evening and a few other bits, but we'll jump onto the main screen itself. I'll just remove any of our own logos and that, because this is a last minute thing, and it's been quite a while. So yeah, it's going to be epic stuff. On pole is ERC Board. Little Mick is in second. Liam Hardman's in third place. Blunt is in fourth. Steele is fifth. Christy Eve is in sixth. Captain Morgan seventh. Tiny eighth. PDMB ninth. Wolf in 10th. Then we've got Crane 11th. Ludolf in 12th. Rookie in 13th. And Rank in 14th position. So this should be absolutely brilliant stuff here. Let's wait and see what is going to happen here. And in terms of detail, we won't have position change. We'll have everything else enabled. So we are away and going. So as we go into the fourth corner there, we see that Little Mick is overtook Board. Liam Hardman's gone up into third with Steely. Come on back up Blunt then into fourth position at the minute. So on with this battle at the top three going through. Monaco, of course, being very tight. It's all about attrition here. You do not want to be over pushing it into the wall. You don't want to be doing that either there, Board. Oh, you're so lucky there. People were very, very, very cautious. And then behind again, it looks like there is a little bit of argy-bargy going on. We're on here with Tiny with this battle here. PDMB swings it around the outside and gets by, and then up the inside goes Tiny. Rank Perez is down a position there now. So Tiny is after somehow getting away with that one there and fitting through as well. These seem to be the closest bit of a battle here, as Rank Perez looking for the move. Tiny has dropped down as Perez has gotten by somehow, and Tiny will have to come back at him. Cray 7 then is in 11th. So up front, going back up to what's happening there, Board is with Little Mick, and a bit of a lock up there as they go in for finishing the first lap out of 78 here. And Little Mick there absolutely doing a great job on that one, and 119.280 for this one. So as they continue on there, I'm just going to jump back further because we see that PDMB is actually in the pits. If we won't jump on with them there, but that looks like we are on now with our boy Board. So let me see if I go bam on now with Ludolf here. Just have to remember how to do comms on F1. It's been a while. So Ludolf now is just kind of sitting pretty in his Alpine. Of course, this is as well for anyone who's not used to it. It's not like your normal equal race, equal performance, that kind of stuff. This is realistic performance on the 100% race. So the guys will have everything on. We're back on the board here. We have a lock up there from Little Mick, but Board has it away. 78 laps is correct, Oliver. Good to have you in, giving the lads a bit of support as well. I'm actually going to jump back down now to 10th position here, because Cray is definitely giving a little bit of pressure on there, but somehow has gotten through. Yeah, he's just kind of sitting back. There's not much you can do. You have to be very patient here coming around Monaco. But everyone's doing very well at the minute. PDMB now, of course, is down in a lonely 14th. But looks like they've got a new wing on the car and also fresh rubber. So that should be quite interesting there as the race does continue on. I'm just going to jump back on, I think, with actually Blunt here, as Blunt is starting to come in to Liam Hardman. Not use big lockups there from the guys. Maybe the game exaggerates the smoke a little bit. But there's a few big lockups going down there into chicane, and again, so Blunt just needs to stay steady. You want to be getting as little lockups as possible here. You want the tyres to last. Of course, you can defend like a line here, because you really need, if you're going to make an overtake happen, you need to be sure about it, because once you send it, there's no turning back. There's walls and other cars. 9 times out of 10, it'll end up in the DNF if you do a mad lunge. If not, it's going to be definite damage. Cray here now, still pushing along. Tiny though, just doing enough. A tiny kiss to the wall from Tiny there. Ironic, I know, but Tiny doing good. Little Mick, of course, doing a great job out in P1. He's already 1.2 seconds clear. I'm going to jump back on with Liam, because Liam now is starting to put the pressure on Steely for third position. Steele in the Ferrari here today, Mick in the Mercedes. Of course, if you're watching the Grand Prix today, you can really see Mercedes are coming back into this. So Let's see what he can do here. Of course, these cars are updated to the relevant performance. While all that's going on, let me see. I'm going to jump on with Prista Eve. Ladies putting it to all the lads here. She is, of course, Liam Hardman's teammate. She is a very good driver, and if I remember right, she's a controller driver as well. So, absolutely love to see her doing well. She's in South African as well. So, South Africa being well repped here with Board, Eve, and then of course Ludolf. Board and Ludolf are, of course, the community owners of ERC and good friends of our community as well, which is good to see. So while this is going on, I'm going to jump back onto her teammate, because her teammate is still there looking for a way by still, but there's just nowhere to go. Blunt is right behind that, also looking for somewhere to go, but unfortunately still nowhere to go either. So looking back further, it's kind of spreading out a little bit. I'm surprised at how quick it has spread out, to be fair, but fair play to them. It's all about being patient here. Monaco in undercut could be massively strong, so that's where you might see a little bit of action, is when the undercuts start happening as well. I think that's where you're going to see some big changes. But yeah, as that's going on, I'm just going to get rid of that. I might just get rid of... Nope, I can only get rid of that. I was going to get rid of the F124, but it's not letting me. So Liam here just has to be patient, as I say. They're both on the same tyres. Let me see with the telemetry what we can see there. So just looking at it here now, you can see the tyre wear on some of the tyres that people are showing, the telemetry and the ERS. So at the minute, 6% wear on mix. So Crail seems to be doing the best in terms of tyre wear, and ERS Steely is running quite low, as you can see. So this is very interesting. The fastest sector, or the fastest lap so far, is still with Ural Mick, and of course you can see everyone else's fastest lap there. The top 5 are all in the 113s, 114s behind that there as well. So quite interesting. We'll come back to that later on. We'll come back into the main race here now. So still on with Hardman, he's nowhere to go. I'm going to jump back on now with Rank Perez, as they've had a bit of a kiss to the wall there. So Eve is under a little bit of pressure, but also Eve doesn't really have to worry too much. She is in the better car and will be able to push on with that there. So Eve doing a very, very good job, quite respectable, and I'm sure Liam will be really appreciative of that as well. If you keep a few more drivers behind, stop them catching up, it gives the teammate a bit of breathing space as well. So if there is that, there you go, a bit of a tap there by Rank Perez. Not the first or last time we'll see that, I would say. Obviously the soft tyres on their car, they can brake a bit later, and they are at this stage of the race probably a little bit faster, but just being fast and getting away by, they're two different things. You need to be patient, and if you want to have patience on your side, this man here, Ludolf, has barrels of that, and will guarantee he'll gain a few places by the end of this race. Of course, Ludolf is on the harder tyres at present as well, if I remember correctly. No, he's actually on the mediums. Apologies on that there. Oh, no, as I said, he's jumped up to P11. Sorry, he is on the hards. So there you go, he's already got another position. So realistically with Ludolf, I would be expecting him a top 7 finish. No pressure, Ludolf. Cray is now in the pits as well there, coming out. So that's one pit stop done for Cray. Oh, big lock up, and nearly got himself a bit of damage. Onto the hard tyres to go. Maybe a bit of free air as well, might be a nice thing for them. Of course, PDMB is having a bit of a lonely race at the minute on the mediums. I'm surprised they didn't put the hard tyres on with such an early pit stop and just kind of run to the end, because I'm pretty sure the hard tyres, while they might be near dead at the end, they could gain a lot of positions that way. And it's Monaco, it's hard to actually get by a driver here. So while all that's going on, it looks like Blunt is after getting the move done, as Liam Hardman is in the pits already. So that is quite a shock to me. I didn't expect him to be in the pits, but he is. So now that puts Blunt up on the P4. He's 1.7 seconds away now. from Steele. Captain Morgan behind them. Steve then up into P6, and she is now 3 seconds clear of Perez. And I think that's what happens. They got a bit too exuberant, and now them soft tyres probably paying a bit of a price now, and needs to calm down slightly with that one. So looking there for Liam Hardman, he pops himself out then in P12, just ahead of PDMB, and he's got himself 11 seconds of clear air. So this could be the undercut that we were discussing earlier on. He is in those hards, probably should go to the end, but Liam going sideways like that will not be the way to do so. So let's see what Liam can do, and does he pit again? That's going to be the big one for me. Will he actually do so? And looking at the fuel of cars as well, I can actually see who's running quite light on fuel and who isn't. So I won't give that away too early anyway. Yeah, it's kind of spread out now. Board has kind of dropped off a bit more than I expected. He's nearly 6 seconds off this guy here. Now, of course, Board is on the harder tyres, so Little Mick now is enjoying that bit of a pace difference now. That could change, though, down the line, of course. If they keep pushing as hard as they're doing, they could end up eating into the actual performance of them tyres as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he does as PDMB gets himself a 3-second time pen, which is 0 crack. But sure, that's what happens. So now on with Board there now. Then you've got Steele. Then Blunt is right on the back of Steele there now. So Blunt is really on the upper hand here. He's really pushed along. So Steele didn't give in to Liam Smith. Can he keep Mr. Blunt behind? That's going to be the question now. Blunt is having some great pace there. So I'll be very, very, very interested to see what happens. So while Blunt is continuing on that fight, I'm just going to jump through all the drivers now at the kind of spread time of things, because we like to give everybody a bit of air. Jump on with Captain Morgan's. I'm just going to call him Captain Morgan's because I like to drink, not because he doesn't have a beard. Funnily enough, I shaved off my beard the other day, so I'm kind of without a beard as well. So I feel your pain, Mr. No Beard. But doing a great job then, Pristi Eve. Now Rank Perez in the pits, them softs. He managed 9 laps going on to the 10th lap. Pristi Eve, though, doing absolutely a brilliant job. Fair play to her, that's what we like to see. Then Tiny in the RB, doing a very good job up in P7, and his teammate behind then in P8. So them two are very, very close on actual pace, and of course they're in the same performance car. Now that is our boy Ludolf up into P9 now. He is running the hard, so he's going to be running along into this race as well, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes. P10 then for rookie license, and he's just behind Ludolf. But then again, yes, they're on 2 different sets of tyres, but Ludolf can kind of relax a little bit. He doesn't need to be worrying. He's on the hard tyres, but he's ahead on track. Massive lockup from Liam Hardman as he is doing his best to start pulling in. He is pulling away slowly though from this man here, Mr. Nicholas PDMB. Then Rank Perez is in P13 and the teammate Cray in P14. But while all that's going on, I'm going to jump back onto this battle here, which is Blunt. He's absolutely flying it out there. DRS wide open, but unfortunately quite tough here to get by. Doing all he can do. We're on lap 11 already out of this 78 lap race. And I'm not surprised there's no safety car. All these guys know how to drive. They understand exactly what's at stake with just going and throwing it a bit too hard into one of the corners. So yeah, can't really give out at all. So let's have a quick back look at the telemetry as we are in the race in here as well. I'll just jump like that now. So at the minute you see tyre wear 13% for P1 Euromilk, 11% for Steele. So Steele's been very light on the tyres. Blunt Blade a little bit more. Rookie license has a bit more, and then fresh ones for Craney there, 2%. In terms of ERS there, Oral Mick is actually nearly barely using any. He's still on 97. Fastest lap still. Let me see, sector times. They're live as they're coming up there now, so he is using a little bit of ERS now as Oral Mick. Fuel wise though, as you'll see, Oral Mick is actually running a little bit lighter than others, so there might be some fuel saving later. Maybe they're expecting a safety car. Let's see how that goes. PDMB of course still with that time penalty, and so the pits for I think it was Rank Perez that time, 7.6 seconds from going into the pits to out from actually stopping the car. So that wasn't too bad, to be fair. Maybe there was a wing change as well. Now looking elsewhere, top speed, fastest car is Steel 286 in the speed trap as well. So yeah, as you can see as well, it's just a mixture of hards and mediums at the minute. Bird is on the hards, as is Ludolf. And then we have Tiny on hards. Who else then? We've got Cornell on hards and then Liam Hardman. Other than that then, not too much going on. We jump back on into the race there now, so I'll have a quick look myself while we were going. Of course, I'm on PC, the game closes for a second and I have to reopen it. But yeah, all going well out there. Going to jump back on here now with ERC Wolf. Wolfie indeed doing a very good job right on top of the teammates. So I'm wondering, will Tiny kind of pull over and let him by, and maybe they might do a bit of team play that way. If it's going to happen, it should happen here in the straight or after turn 1, using the DRS to catch up. I feel it might be more beneficial for them, then they can swap it back if nothing major happens then later on in the race. But at the minute, nothing is changing there. Although rookie license is starting to get quite close to Liam here. So rookie license would have lost out to Liam, but he's pulling back up, because then just ahead of them we have Mr. Ludolf. So Ludolf possibly will defend, but not over defender. He's not the kind of person who's going to really get in the way. He'll focus on his own race. As he's like most experienced racers, you kind of know what your battle is, so you're not going to lose time defending unless you have to, as Ryan Perez gets the fastest lap at the minute on the fresh rubber with a fresh wing. So Ryan Perez is 17 seconds off their teammate at the minute. But yeah, Ludolf here doing a great job, nice and smooth, beautifully done. Big lockups from the cars ahead. So Ludolf now just has Liam right there. So Ludolf just needs to do what he normally does. He's going to keep the inside line, I would say. No, he knows he's ahead of Liam. Not to worry about it. Liam, though, you can just see the difference in grip. Liam has a much better drive. Oh, he tried to force that on Ludolf. Ludolf kept it. That was on Liam, unfortunately. Well, one thing I've noticed about this game, people do send going up the hill there. Sergio Perez found out in real life you can't really do that. Of course, K Magdo was squeezing. Oh, Liam's tyres are absolutely scalded. He needs to calm it now and get his head back into the game. As far as I'm concerned there, I don't think that was in any way Ludolf's fault there. He was taking the standard line going up the hill. Going to jump back on with Blunty. Oh, and we have a caution. We've got a safety car as Rank Perez has DNF'd. I'm not even sure where on track he had done that. At P13. Oh, there we go. How? That makes no sense. Where's Cray stopped? Cray's just letting Liam by. I don't know why Cray done that. Maybe he just knew that he didn't want to be fighting him on the race start, maybe. So I'm sure the pits are going to be busy. You've got Tiny, Ludolf, PDMB in the pits. Oh, Little Mick was too far ahead. Interesting. That worked out very well for the guys at the back. Spristy will surely go in. This will make it interesting. So, oh, Liam's DNF'd as well. No clue how Liam would have DNF'd there, but he's done it in the pits by the looks of it. So that's very, very, very unfortunate. He could have stayed going there. Safety car came out in his favour. And now he's going to lose a handful of points. As we see everybody going into the pits except for Bird. So Bird knows track position is what matters. The only thing is, though, If everyone goes on to hards now, let's go back onto the telemetry here as this is going on, because we're actually going to see here now, yeah, everybody's going on to hards. So that is super, super interesting. Everybody else is going on to hards. Sorry, I got the view back on ahead. So everybody's going into the pits. So Prestige is on softs. That's, I don't know what's going on. He's just making sure he's not in the way of everyone by the looks of it. So that's Board. And then that's the Williams of Cray. So Cray will probably want to pit this lap if he doesn't want to be kind of in this big debacle, but then again he'll be an extra lap down. Interesting. So yeah, looking here anyway, so the fastest person in the speed trap is Steele. The slowest person is Nicholas. 10 kilometers an hour difference, so which is very interesting. Fastest lap time looks like it's still Ural Mick. Steele was quite close, just over a tenth of a second off. Fastest last lap, that's what makes the was, but last lap. Fuel, this is working out for Ural Mick now. They'll be able to fuel save, and a few of the other guys, of course. In an ideal world, we'll have everyone sharing their telemetry and I'll be able to give you a lot more information, but still, that'll do for now. With safety car is still out, we're on lap 16. Let's get back into the main screen here. And let's see what's going on. So, yeah. Still sitting with Cray. Move on to Board. Prestige is in the pits. It feels like ages coming out of the pits, but luckily this is one of the shorter pit lanes. It's quite an aggressive one, and that's hard tires on for Evie now. She's got it on the mediums and now gone onto the hards. So she drops down to P8, but that's fine. That's essentially she can go to the end of the race now. Board sticking it out. Little Mick on fresh hards. Steely, of course, on fresh hards as well. So Ludolf back in the pits. Wow, okay, what's Ludolf in the pits for? He's just done the change back to hards. That's exactly what's happened there. So Ludolf, oh, that's a smart move by. The only thing for Cray is now because he's stuck behind Board, he can't unlap himself. The best thing he could do here is probably get into the pits to get out of the way, because he's going to be blue flagged anyway, and he may move out of the way, which is super frustrating. So he's been very unlucky that his teammate had caused this incident, because it's really put him on the back foot now. He can't unlap himself and put himself to the back of the pack. He is essentially a lap down guaranteed, which is super, super, super unlucky for him. So we're just waiting for everything to go on. Yeah, there's nothing he can do there. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, which is very, very tough. So hopefully the safety car will come in this lap. It'll just mean then we get back going, of course. I'm pretty sure it's only Board is the only person out there and used tyres now. And lucky for little Mick as well, he's able to actually save enough fuel now. I think that he should be fine looking at everyone else's fuel. It's still a bit touch or go. It might be a bit of fuel saving near the end, but it seems to me like they just have enough in the tank now. So that's been quite good for them. So any minute now we should see Ouch. Ouchie pouchy. And sorry, I wasn't expecting the stream tonight. I would have had ERC's logos and stuff on if that was the case, just looking through everything. But we will come back to it later on. And I'll make a nice little thumbnail for when you're watching it for ERC anyway. Love that Mercedes AMG GTR. So it's not a bad day really looking for Red Bull points wise. Of course Alpine will be doing well, and I'm sure Ludolf will gain more positions. Aston Martin obviously getting a nice handful of points. Ferrari wrapped by only one car doing a good job. Unfortunately Aston Martin actually doing another good. Mercedes, Aristi's going to have to hold the fort there now as Liam is out. So it's quite tough for the guys there. It would have been nice to have an old partner in there if needed later on to slow cars or whatnot. As we're coming past the harbour here now with all the cars. So what I might do as well, just for myself, what I might do is actually just get rid of that, because I want to have a clearer view of the racing and not have it in our way. So as we're going now for the restart, that's Board gonna go away with it now, and Board at least has the blue flag car of Cray between them. Big lock up from Board, but away he goes. He's away, gone. And Cray unfortunately will have to get out of the way soon with the blue flags, which is very frustrating. There's not much Cray can do here. He's been drove through. Okay. So, safety car again. No, it's not. Okay, Williams was pulled into everyone. Boy, it just showed up that there was a caution thing. No, that's grand. Right, so back on with it. Sorry guys, I got really confused there when I said safety car. I was like, what? So we've got Board from Little Mick, then we have got Steely in third position, then we've got Blunt in fourth, Morgan in fifth, Wolf in sixth, Paristi in seventh, then we've PDMB in eighth, Rookie in ninth, we've got Tony in 10th, Exo in 11th, and then Cray in 12th. So he's having a tough one, but at least it's guaranteed decent points for him, and a P12, so keep it going, right? So DRS is enabled. So Board 1 second, less than a second now, that's the difference in tyres. Beautifully done through there, Mr. Board. And then we've got a yellow flag. Who is the yellow flag? Is it Cray? Yeah. And Cray's going to retire, I would say, but looks of it. Yeah. Had that feeling. Should have stayed going. I done it in, was it Japan, where I literally cruised around watching a movie and was ended up being 6 laps down, but I kept it going, finish and get the points for the team. So I'd always recommend never giving up unless you have to. So anyone quitting in the pits, you're giving up lovely, lovely points and positions in the championship. Oh, that's a late breaking there from Nicholas. Sector 1, who's that? Oh, that's Cray's car coming out of the pits, never mind that. Don't need to look or worry about that. There is no yellow flag. That's just one of those silly ones until the car retires from the game. So going through there now. Board going into T1. Nicely done. 1.1 seconds clear of Little Mick now. Then you got Steely in P3, although it looks like Ludolf and Tiny swapping positions. So where is Tiny? What's happened, Tiny? Oh, can't park there, mate. As a tiny doing a 55-point turn, gets back going again. So I don't know whether they lost to coming out of the pits or was there a bit of contact with Ludolf, but I didn't think Ludolf was that close in terms of being right on him, so could have lost that by himself. I'm sure we'll find out later on what happened there. So while all that's going on, I'm just going to keep an eye here on board, because he is kind of just a slight bit ahead there, but also this little bit of a ding-dong starting to happen there. A tiny little train of cars for Steely, Blunt, Captain Morgan, Wolf, Puristi right there, PDNB as well. And that can go anybody's way, so it'll be interesting to see how close these can go. Craig stating it was a safety car, absolutely wonderful from there as well, which, yeah, is super unlucky, mate. So while Blunty is this going on, the race for the lead is happening there now, because Board has Little Mick much more closely in his mirrors now. Very good stuff there. On with Steele, who is under pressure as well from Mr. Blunt. And then even back further, PDMB is putting the pressure on Puristi, and Rookie's sitting there with them, and is Ludolf down behind as well. So this has become a nice little few battles going on in the track. And racing this close as well, you kind of have to be very careful. It's so easy to oversight it and end up hitting the car ahead when you're running that close as well. So you kind of really need to keep your wits about you, keep your references up there. As it looks like Puristi Eve is after having a bit of a moment, but is back on. They must have dropped it just at the little chicane and have got back going anyway, and lives to fight another day. They're still quite a bit ahead of Tiny. So that's now Ludolf putting the pressure on now with rookie license. So Ludolf is starting to push ahead with those fresh hards as well, and can just slowly wean their way up. And of course that Alpine is slightly getting better in real life as well, so I'm sure they'll be happy with any updates of performance as well. Now I'm going to jump back on for this fight for the lead, because look at this here. You could literally put a bag of chips between them and that's about it, as they're super close to each other. Although you see Burr took a slightly tighter line, able to rotate the corner a bit better there, and pulls out nearly half a second in two corners. And that's the difference between taking the apex correctly, getting the line, instead of getting that bit of understeer running wider like Little Mick did there. So very interesting in terms of driver lines, what way they're going about it. Bordeaux keeping his head very, very clear. Of course, a very experienced driver. And Little Mick will have to go back and reset their mind and think, what can I do? Showing your nose is not going to be enough to get by Bird. So Ludolf here, still doing a good job, just looking for a way by. PDMB, of course, is still carrying the pen as well. So essentially at the minute, that drops PDMB down to 9th as well. PDMB has that 3-second penalty. We can't forget that either. Mr. Blunt putting the pressure on also. You just have to be so patient here. You can't just jump at it. You just have to be so patient. How are you doing, Mini Smoky? Well, hope you're keeping good here. I hope you're enjoying this battle as much as I am with Blunt and Steele, and of course then Mick and Bird. These are two battles going on for 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th respectively. And of course Captain Morgan's looking to try and get involved with this as well. He's had a few captains before the race shaved off his beard for lightweight, and here he is then sitting behind in his ORV ready to pounce on these. Back further, Ludolf is in a little bit of a train here with, of course, rookie license and then PDMB just ahead as well. So it's still quite close between the drivers out there. I'm sure Bordeaux would like nothing more though to have it less close. Of course, there is a difference of 19 laps between both sets of tyres there. So Bordeaux doing a phenomenal job, of course. DRS wide open, but you have nowhere to go. You're stuck behind that car. And learn from what Liam done. Do not go trying to overtake like Sergio Perez there, because exactly what happened to Perez will happen. No way he goes there. Trying to show it. I think that was a bit of a forced one, and this is why It's one thing that bugs me, but also that was fair racing because Board is there with it. I hate people just going for the send and trying to force room when you're behind. Board would be, if Board had took the corner normally and there was an incident, it wasn't Board's fault. Board was clearly ahead into the corner. I think people need to really consider where they send lunges. But I can say that for any F1 race in any community, it seems to be an inherent F1 driver thing. But Minnie, good to see you in the stream. I haven't done an F1 stream in, geez, quite a while at this stage. Of course, I was live on Friday with our own ACC stuff. That's what we really use our YouTube channel for, is our ACC stuff. But you might see more F1 coming in the near future. We will see how things go and pan out. So now this is becoming a four-way battle between Board being held up, or Board holding up Mick, is now bringing Steele and Blunt into plays. Parasite Eve gets herself a 3-second time penalty, but still running quite nicely there. Tiny, of course, gets by as well. I think there was an extra pit stop there. But now Board is doing a phenomenal job. There's no other way to say. How you doing, Craig? Hope you're keeping well, mate. Yeah, this is absolutely unbelievable here. Board with 19 lap older hard tyres is still keeping these guys behind. I'm sure Board is probably hoping any time now, possibly. Would he like, or maybe actually no, wait till about lap 40, he'd love to see a safety car again. Because then he'll be able to get in and get himself a little bit. If you want, I can... you want to have a go of this, do you? Craig, bear with me 1 minute so while all this is going on. I'm just going to throw up the telemetry screens and I'll give you a call on Discord now in a second. We'll get you in. So there's live telemetry as well then as the race going on. So let me have a quick look. Will I get a few other bits sorted? Yeah, little Mick though, they're after pulling a bit away again from Steely there. So I'm just going to jump back on though to these other battles as well, because Board is doing a great job there. Look at this though. Top 5 cars with P6 looking to get involved as well. And they're all absolutely on it there. Not a bother at all, Kenny's. That's what I'm here for. Right guys, so I'm just going to pause the race. Stream's going to stop in terms of the actual race for a second. I'm just going to go into ERC. Is there any voice chats in ERC? No, there's not. Cray, unfortunately, there's no voice chats there that I can pull you in on. So just for today, I won't be able to get you in, unfortunately. But then again, I didn't expect to be doing comms today. So back into this we go, and it's still a Board from Mick, from Steele, from Blunt, from Captain Morgan's Beard. Then Ludolf and Pieto is still there trying to attack rookie license. So there is battles still all the way through the grid at the minute. I am in the International Paddock Discord, but by the time I then have to stream in with you as well and all that as well to get that set up right, it will take a few minutes. So Craig, don't worry, we get they'll get you in for the next one. Just unfortunately, I just jumped in because I was testing out my live timing software, which is working perfect. That's why I was just testing that out there. But yeah, as we keep going on with this one here, it's what are we on, nearly lap 30 now. So Board, don't forget, hasn't pitted for any tyres. Everybody else is on fresh rubber. Blunty doing a great job there as well. That's exactly what we're like to see there. Good racing between these guys, and it's nice and respectful. To be fair about it, that's one thing I will say. There's one or two little dives early on, but most of this racing has been lovely and respectful, and loving seeing the guys out here doing their thing. Would love to if you don't reserve. Yeah, that's fair. But look, if you ever need to get into comms, I could be looking at setting up something soon. That'll be for a different day, time, and back channel. As Ludolf here is putting the pressure on Rookie. Little Mick though still in P2. There's no point going back to that battle because I want to give everyone that's fighting a bit of airtime. Doesn't matter whether you're first, last, or in between. We'll be keeping away on this one. And Craig, you were very unlucky with the safety car. I did say it because you're kind of stuck in no man's land. You were going to be a lap down regardless of what happened, which is quite annoying. Unfortunately, it was your teammate causing the safety car as well, which probably puts a bit of salt in that wound. But we live and learn and move on. So Peristy Eve as well, as I say, I'll cover everybody. Peristy Eve is starting to catch PDMB as well. Both of them with time penalties, so this is going to be a legit race between these two. Time penalties will not be a factor between these two. Can PDMB keep Parasite Eve, I keep calling her Peristy Eve, keep Parasite Eve behind? It's going to be tough. She seems to be having the pace at the minute. Although he's got a bit of a gap this time, but while that's happening, coming up now into turn 2, 3/4, we have Bird and Mick, and this is the closest it's been for a while. I'm sure we're probably going to see another lunge, but Bird covering it off, going around the bump properly, which is part of the racing line in Monaco, of course. Yeah, so you can really tell where Bird is struggling, which is in the grippier sections now, of course. What, 31 laps and down, everyone else has about 11, 12 laps. And that's including 3 slow under the safety car as well, don't forget. So Bird still doing a top job. I seem Steele gets a much better drive than Blunt through them corners, but then seems to pull back in as Wolf gets themselves a time penalty. That's not good in terms of Cray's left this session, but that's Cray in the stream as well. But that's not very good in terms of if there is another safety car having them time penalties now, it is a huge headache around Monaco. And here we go, move into turn 1, and he gets the move done. That is a proper move there by Little Mick, and away into P1 he goes again. He's on the fresher rubber now. Let's see how much Bird was holding him back now, because Bird is now already half a second off. So Little Mick really opening up the taps already. Bird getting a huge lap up. Little Mick just going for it. Gets a little bit on the wider side, carrying too much speed, but already about 1.1 seconds it's jumping in between. But yeah, you can tell that's a huge difference. They're already over a second clear now, so obviously being held back very much so. So now that that's being done, Steele now might be getting to feel a little bit like, okay, this could be on for me as well, as could Blunt, because Blunt is sitting right there. Captain Morgan as well, right there. So let's see what Captain Morgan will do. But while all that's going on, Steve has dropped off a little bit, but Ludolf is still sitting here looking to get by, or he's got by Tiny, sorry, should I say, as all that was going on. Tiny had a moment, so it's against Rookie License, apologies, looking at the wrong name. So Ludolf is right there with Rookie License. Rookie License, quite an experienced driver. I don't think he's going to make too many silly errors, so Ludolf has to try and force the error by keeping the pressure on. And Ludolf will be able to do that. He does a great pace in the Alpine. He seems to be quite good at that car, even with the realistic performance. You would expect the Aston Martin to be a little bit better around here. But Rookie is still doing a stellar job as well. Of course, they're 12.2 seconds clear of Tiny behind. And then Peristy and PDMB are unfortunately in a different realm of racing at the minute. But at least they have each other to race, because that is a legitimate race. I know Gap has pulled out a little bit now. Maybe Parasite must have had a little bit of damage. But 32 laps now on them. Nicely done. Yeah, so we had 2 retirements on lap 13. That was Rank Perez and Liam Harmon. And then Cray retired in the pits on lap 18. Unfortunately, the safety car really ruined their chances. Big lock up there. You definitely don't want to be doing that too often. And Little Mick, the fastest lap there. There you go. He has been 3.1 seconds clear already. So while he was stuck behind, at least his tyres weren't getting overly used either. He probably had a bit of fuel saving on as well and relaxed a little bit. So what else can you do in that situation? Which is not much, unfortunately. But yeah, still doing a great job there. Just going to jump through everybody. So start off then at P11. So Parasite Eve doing a great job keeping the Mercedes team still getting some kind of points this evening. It's all about finishing the race, guys. It's where the points are made, where championships are made and lost as well. And of course, there's driver contacts here. You have, you know, everyone has their own little targets that they may meet to keep their seats. So Eve is keeping sure of getting as many points as possible. Then I'm going to jump back into P10, which is PDMB. PDMB now 3.2 seconds clear, but it's about 3.1 seconds off Tiny there ahead. So it's still a possibility, depending on tyre wear later on. Tiny in the RB is slowly actually pulling in a little bit on Ludolf, nearly a second this time around. So then Ludolf then is in P8, of course, racing very, very hard with rookie license here. 4.10 seconds. If this was Spa somewhere else, we'd see them overtakes done with DRS long ago. This is all about making a move happen. This is where we've seen some great race in the past. But also, Monaco being Monaco can be a snooze fest also. But thankfully, it's not been anything of a snooze fest here this evening for the ERC Masters, as we've got rookie license, as I say, then in P7. And he's doing a great job, though, keeping Mr. Ludolf right behind. Then in P6, we've got ERC Wolf. And unfortunately for Wolf, he does have himself a time penalty. But he's quite clear of rookie at the minute. So for now, it shouldn't make too big of a difference as Parasite Eve is in the pits. Then in P5, we've got Captain Morgan, Mr. No-Beard himself, after having a few drinks, is in P5. And doing quite a good job, only 1.1 seconds off this guy ahead, which is Mr. Blunt, still putting the pressure on Steely. They haven't made an impression on Bird, so it really does go to show how impressive Bird is out there. Because Steely doing a great job defending, but because he's defending, this man on the oldest tyres of anyone on the grid, not pitted yet, still P2, he's 4.7 seconds clear now, or sorry, off this guy, Mr. Little Mick. So, you know, for Bird, I think he is being the most impressive driver so far to be able to make them tyres stay competitive enough where he hasn't actually, he's pulling away from Steely with the guys fighting. He is dropping from Little Mick, but they did start on different tyres. Little Mick started on the mediums, pulled away a bit there with Bird then in second, then the safety car came when Rank Perez found a wall, and then Liam was in the pits DNF'd, and then Cray, unfortunately, because of that safety car early on, Cray then pits then as well and retires the car because he was stuck at a lap down. He wasn't able to unlap himself from, he was stuck behind P1 actually, so yeah, that was very, very unlucky for him. But yeah, interesting racing going on. But Steely now really showing Blunt that he's not going to give in quite easy in that Fezza. Although they're starting to catch in with Bird now in quite a way. 1.3 seconds now. So it is starting to come back down slightly. In terms of fuel there, it looks like, yeah, Little Mick is still doing alright for fuel, to be fair about it. So getting quite close again. No cigar though. We'll have to try and find a way, boy. Way to go. Perfecto. Yeah, not a bad job there. So Ludolf is just, he's super consistent. Super close this time around though. He's trying to make the move happen, but just knows it's not happening. Of course, Rookie would have used a little bit of VRS as well there to try and defend. But yeah, that's tough going there now. Little Mick is absolutely flying it out there as well. He's the fastest man on track last lap at 1:13.0. Everybody else in the 1:14s, 1:15s. So, yeah, interesting. Jumping back on Steely now is actually starting to catch Bird while he's being caught by Blunt. So this is going to turn into a little tasty one here as well. You can really see Bird is struggling for the grip in the slower corners. Of course, it's all tyre and mechanical grip at them kind of speeds. You're not just relying on air. Captain Nobears has disconnected. He needs to take over that car. He's an 8-second gap to the car behind. He needs to get back in and take over that car ASAP. To not lose out on too much time. So Bird doing a good job though. Super close between the three cars. Parisi though absolutely on it there, 112.407. That was ridiculously fast. That is what we like to see. That was an amazing lap, so fair play. Absolutely brilliant stuff there, and I'm pretty sure that was about 2.255 seconds faster than Little Mick's fastest lap, so she is absolutely flying out there in those fresh softs. I do feel at this stage that she's so far behind PDMB, she might as well enjoy herself and just do like a long extended qualifying now and just have fun. Of course, if a safety car then comes back into play later on as well, that'll be quite awesome for her. Obviously, I don't want any more cars leaving the race, so if there's a safety car, let it be for superficial stuff. As PDMB gets themselves another time penalty, he will not be wanting a safety car now after that. Wowzers. So let's see how this goes. Good job there from Steely. He's catching up, but at the same time he needs to be looking for. He's in a tough old place this, but PDMB all over the back of Tiny here. Trying to show the nose, trying to scare Tiny. Of course, PDMB on the faster tyres. Tiny struggling on those hards, and Tiny's not. Oh! I don't know how he didn't end backwards there. But they've gotten through it and learned to live to fight another day. Radar is something that's badly needed in this game as a standard tool for people. Not just arrows, but an actual radar software. Would definitely help with guys when they're side by side to make sure they're not overly just pulling across. But they live to fight another day. As we jump back on with Steely, Captain Morgan's joined back in. He's only lost 3 seconds or 2.5 seconds to Wolf D&D. So less than half the race to go now, guys. By the way, we're just past halfway, and Steely still putting the pressure on Board. Absolutely flying along, which is what we like to see there. I suppose just give us a bit more of a look at the telemetry side of things, of what's going on. So you'll see with some people who have the telemetry shared, you'll get to see their tyre wear. You'll see what tyres everyone's on and the live fastest laps and sector times and everything like that. It's nice to have while the little battle's going on as well. It's always nice to see that. So Steele is still doing a good job. They're after pulling away from Blunt now a little bit. Blunt's kind of giving up a bit. For now, as Parasite gets the 3-second time penalty there, being a bit off there as well. But still doing a very good job. So Board for me is getting driver of the day. I know, Little Mick, you've done an amazing job. You're now 10 seconds clear and flying away, but this has been super impressive so far, I'm not going to lie. It's been very, 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 very good to watch. And yeah, hopefully you're all enjoying this too. Jump back on to the main race screen as all this is going on. So yeah, we've lost Rank Perez on lap 13, as well as Liam Hardman on lap 13, then Cray 7 on lap 18. And everybody else is all on lap 41 now for the leader, and now any second now Board on lap 41 all the way back down to Parsi Eve. They're all on the same lap, although Eve may be caught soon at this stage looking at gaps. It's not majorly bad, but she's hoping not to be lapped by the end of this race. So they'll all finish on the same lap, which would be nice. So Bird still doing a good job. I'm just going to go back now to Eve. I want to give everyone a bit of love on the stream. I'm not just going to focus on where the race is at. I want to focus on everybody here. And Eve on those soft tires, doing nice and fast laps. I'm probably having a really good laugh while doing so. When you have that fast, fresh tires on, it just feels amazing. As she flies away there. I'm going to jump back on now because PDMB's in the pits there. I was going to jump on to PDMB. There he is. Coming out now in P11 with a pit stop done. Then in P9 we have Mr. Tiny here, who's about 9 seconds off Ludolf in 8. Now Ludolf is now 1.3 seconds off rookie license, so Ludolf has kind of lost a bit of ground. Maybe trying to save those tires a little bit there, as this guy here, rookie license, pushing away. As I say, Ludolf lost ground. Ludolf is nearly back on the tail of him already. Unbelievable stuff there from him. Then P6 we have ERC Wolf, and Wolf is doing a phenomenal job in an RB of all cars as well, so that car does have pace in its day. Then we have Captain Morgan's having a beer. He is in P5, and of course Blunty Dan is ahead of him, a few corners ahead should I say, and Blunt's just sitting there looking at the Steel and Board battle. But as that's happened, they're waving goodbye to Little Mick, who is leading the race and is now nearly 13 seconds clear of everything else that's going on. So this is the thing, Board's doing a great race for him, but it's probably hurting the other guy's race a little bit, but that is part of racing, and especially around Monaco you just need to have the patience. That's all they can do. Big lock up there though from Board. I would expect Board in soon enough, unless he's going to do hard to soft, which you'll probably get about, what, 15-16 laps out of the soft if I remember right. I'm sure anyone watching could tell me any different if that's the case, but I'm pretty sure soft should last about 16 or so laps. All going well. Let's see, is all that's going on. I'm going to jump back on with PDNB. He's about 17 seconds clear, and now he's getting blue flagged as well, so that's unfortunate for him. PDNB is actually going to feel a bit of hurt here, so he's going to be losing out a bit of time. So for Parasite Eve, she might get herself a free pit stop and come out ahead of PDNB, but she'd want to be getting that now. She is. It's like she read my mind. Surely onto a set of mediums at the least. Another set of softs. Is she crazy? On a new wing. Oh, she needs to be putting on those harder compounds and going for it. I don't think she'll get ahead of... She will. Wow. Tiny's retired. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Where did Tiny die? It's only a yellow flag. Oh, she has rear wing damage and underbody damage. That floor damage is the biggest pain. That happened to me in 2 or 3 races now in ERC. Myself, Tiny is out unfortunately. But yeah, underfloor damage absolutely kills your brake and your turn and everything like that. So yeah, she's very unlucky there. And I'm sure she's probably picked up a bit more damage there. Just get her to maybe pull back 5% on what she can actually do. Make the car get to the end. She's ahead, or she's nearly right on top of PDMB. So she needs us to calm it down a little bit. There's good points still to play. So let's see what she can do now. As we're going to P9 to PDMB. Ooh. Was Eve ahead of PDMB? Oh, she is ahead of PDMB. I don't know what's going on there. Where are they? Maybe it was an illegal overtake or something. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, back to normality now, it looks like. And let's see what will happen here. We're going to rookie license there at 1.3 seconds off Ludolf. So Ludolf has got up into P7. PDMB is retired from the race. Wow, wow, wow. Did not expect that at all. Wonder what happened, PDMB. Oh. Did he just retire while the car's still on track? That car was still on track there. That was definitely still driving. Anyway, on here now with Mr. Steely. Mr. Steely finds out his wings are made out of steel. He'll be going in now for a pit stop. That end plate gone. And the tyre's probably a little bit on the warm side there, so that was great for Blunt. But yeah, Steely will have to pit. He'll be losing so much grip and so much time. He's better off just taking the hit now. Fresh set of mediums on. And do hot laps then. So the thing is though, it's going to put him back down to essentially PAP. I'd say P8, won't be P9. That is super unlucky there. So that'll be medium tyres going on. And the fresh wing as well. For once the Ferrari pit team were actually a bit more efficient than normal. And away he goes. So that puts then Wolf up into P5 and Ludolf then into P6. Does he stay there? He does, because rookie license is coming up behind. And then it's still, wow, P3 to PA. That is very tough. So we've now lost 5 cars from this race. Tony and PDMB both on lap 43. Cray on lap 18, and then both Liam and Rank on lap 13. Of course, only one safety car though. But yeah, so it's now starting to spread out. 17 seconds here. Little Mick nearly has a free pit stop here now. That's crazy. So I'm surprised Board hasn't gone for the pit stop now. You'll easily get the mediums 20 laps. He's done 48 laps on these tyres. Pretty sure of that anyway. I'll jump back onto telemetry to have a look for myself, because I'm nearly 100% sure. In. So all in the pits. So oh no, sorry, I think has he already been? I'm pretty sure he actually might have been in already. Wow. That's very interesting. So tyre wear wise, looking there, so still obviously on fresh mediums. Rookie license is the highest tyre wear that we can visibly see out of people who've shared their telemetry with us. Oh, bit of a lock up there from Little Mick, but keeps it going. Board down, coming around for P2. Then we have Blunt in P3, Morgan in P4, Wolf P5, Ludolf down behind in P6. Behind him then is Rookie. Then you've got Steele entering the tunnel there now, and Parasite Eve then coming out of the tunnel nearly a lap behind. She just needs to keep her head down and try and get no more damage, because when you've underfloor damage, it honestly is the worst feeling in the world. So I do feel for her right now. So we'll jump on with Ludolf for a lap or two. While the gaps are kind of out there, we give everyone a little bit of airtime here this evening as I'm looking through everything. So ERS as well, it's nice to see that Blunt plate is pretty much half their ERS left. Rookie license 79%, Steel 50%. Fastest lap, as you can see there, Eve, it's 1:12.407 is still the fast lap. Second fast lap 1:12.662 there by the race leader Little Mick. Yeah, so we'll jump back in to the main race stream there now, and we get on with that there. Now, apologies on that as well. You'll see the supercharged logo, that should be the ERC, but obviously, as I say, this was a last minute thing, so don't mind that. Oh, as EXO takes a nice bang into that wall. Let's see if we can get a visual on that front wing, because it looks like on the left side there was a little bit of damage on it. Can't see it from this camera view. And this one though, it looks like the wing actually still has its end plates on it, which is massively shocking. But yeah, he's keeping it going. So Bird is finally into the pits, coming out in P4. on fresh mediums, he will be an absolute rocket to the end of this race now as well. So now Captain Morgan gets up into P3. Blunty is in P2 and a lonely P2 now. 16 seconds behind him for P3 and nearly 20 seconds clear is Little Mick for P1. A Little Mick might fancy going for the fastest lap possibly later if they get out a big enough gap. So don't be surprised if you see him going in for a fresh set of soft tyres. Bit of a lock up there. But the likes of Steely here and Rookie License and Ludov could still have a bit of a battle. It's still only 1.5 under 2 seconds kind of a gap between them all. So that could still play out to be quite a fun and interesting race. You got Parasite Eve just in the way, but she gets out of the way there, Steely. So now that's Evie is lapped, but it means now that Steely can focus on catching up to this bio here. Rookie License actually just pulling out of the way, not even as a Williams. That was that Wolfie, was it? Oh, in the RB. That's huge damage in the front of that car. Wow. Surprised that didn't call for a safety car, to be honest, how long it took for him to move away. But that is after hurting Wolfie big time. Of course, he will get in the pits now, but that has kind of dampened what was a great showing from him. But now we've got Steely back up into P6. Of course, he did pit in after his spin from P3. And then just ahead of him, then we've got Ludolf and his teammate then just ahead Board. Board, of course, on those fresh mediums. I'm expecting to pull away from Ludolf and start catching in Captain Morgan, only less than 4 seconds away. Captain Morgan on the slower compound. Of course, Board is on the faster compound and on much fresher tyres. Let that be known also. So what happened, Nick PDMB, what happened was he disconnected, then joined in and took control of the car, and it wrote the car off. We obviously just rejoined and took the car at the wrong time, and it would have then went off and crashed or something happened anyway. So that's unlucky for PDMB. As Bird there, the fastest lap at 1:12.152, and that's on the medium tyre, so that's a rocket ship of a lap. Very well done to Bird. And Steely and Exo swapping positions there. Missed that just off camera. Sorry about that, guys. And so that's Steely through. And Ludolf dropping down. Of course, Steely is absolutely flying out there on those fresh tyres as well. So Board's not going to be getting in the way of that. Or sorry, Exo's not going to get in the way of that. Now, Board is nearly have to put in a second and Captain Morgan in about as much of a lap as well. Looking on, so we've got Eve sitting there in P9 doing a good job. She's only 28 seconds off Wolfie as well, so still has a possibility something could still happen. It's anybody's game, to be fair about it. So we still have just under a quarter of the race to go. So Wolf then, unfortunately for him, then down in P8. Going to jump on with Ludolf there really quick then in P6. 1.2 seconds now off Steely. So yeah, I think that was the fair thing to do. So what's going to be hard now for Mr. Morgan is a very fast Board right on him now. So Board on massively fresher tyres and a better compound as well. Let's see how Board goes. I like the way Board takes this corner here. It keeps a nice tight line, and then he keeps tight then to open up the next 2 corners. Nice and smoothly does it. He's going to have a much better exit as well, but look at that. Captain's not even getting in the way of it. He's like, this is not my fight. Get on your way. Get on your horse. I love seeing that, because I know to some racers like, oh sure, fight for it. It's a position. You don't need to over fight for that. Different compounds, totally different strategies, and fresher. You're going to lose way more time by fighting it than just getting on with it. So that's the great thing there. And then what means then for Captain Obert as well, if there was a safety car now, he'd be able to get into the pits and get a pit stop and still come out ahead of Steely. If it was the other way around, that wouldn't have happened. So in fairness, I think that was such a very clever move, and delighted that he's done that. It just makes life a lot easier. So yeah, I'll just go back on and show you a bit more of that telemetry. I'm not sure if anyone really understands what they're looking at, but looking at the tyre side of it there, rookie license 22%, and then for second there on 20% rubber. So, you know, tyre wear not going too bad in terms of fuel. Little Mick is definitely running still at slightly lower fuel. Rookie license has lost sound again. Oh, so that's what happened. Tiny. That's unlucky, Tiny, but these things happen. So now let me jump on with who we haven't really given much time to. I'm going to go back on with Wolf for a minute. Let's give everyone a bit of airtime as I'm looking through the stats here. Fastest laps, yeah, so quite interesting. Actually looking at last laps, so you've got Bird is doing 112s, nobody else is in 112s, and the 113s you've got Mick Blunt, Steely, and then Eve is actually in the 113s then as well. Then everyone else is in the mid 14s, late to mid 15s as well. So massive difference there in the tyre up platform now as well. But guys are still doing a great job. Fair play to everybody. We'll jump back onto the main race screen. And we jump back on. Is there any action going on? There isn't. So Steely's after pulling 5.1 seconds clear. Blunty has that time penalty as well. So Bird is after pulling in quite a chunk of time at the minute. So Bird, quite an exciting person to be looking at the minute. He's absolutely hammering it out there. So he's doing an absolutely phenomenal job there now. And yeah, that's what we like to see. So what is he now? Less than 14 seconds off. Still, it's a lot. It's a big ask, but he's on the fresh tires. He has the air now, so you might as well just give it everything to go for it. It's been very unlucky in terms of the safety car. I like what he done by dragging it out like that, but yeah, that's phenomenal stuff there. Little Mick's pace has dropped a little bit, so Blunt has pulled in a little bit of time to him as well. Just looking at that, so his lap time, last lap he's lost just over 1/10 of a second to ERC Blunt. I'll give you the exact stuff. So this is the nice stuff about having this software, that I can actually now read a lot more into the race and what's going on and kind of relay the story back to you. So in the last lap alone, yeah, there was a 10th there. In the last lap, Bird took 9/10 and actually a second out of the leader and 9/10 out of Blunt. So this kind of stuff is very vital to see that pace difference there. So this is essentially looking at Verstappen, you could say, versus Perez there, as that's how fast Bird is compared to Little Mick on track at the minute. And I think that's a fairly accurate version of Perez and Verstappen to play. But yeah, it's been, I have to say, a very good race for Monaco. It's normally they do normally be a bit of a boring race, if I'm honest, but this has been absolutely brilliant stuff. Better than the real life race, I can tell you that much. There's been way more action. Driver of the day. I'm very confused for myself here on who I should pick for it. But I still think by Little Mick had a great race. What Bird did to keep himself in the podium was amazing. Blunt as well actually has done an amazing job, don't forget. Do you know what, we'll have to see after the race. I think it's one of those ones. We'll see after. Because that was absolutely mad. So Bird is now down to under 12 seconds off. Blunt is catching Little Mick as well last lap there. So Little Mick's going to cross the line now, 1:13.626. Waiting now for Blunt to go by, and then once Blunt does, we'll be able to tell you his lap time. As we're still on with Bird, I know we shouldn't be sticking on with one car, but Bird's, it's fascinating to see what he's going to be doing here lap time wise. A 1:13.9, so actually Blunt lost a bit of time on that lap. So now this lap time here, it was a 1:12.968 last lap. What was it this lap? It is a 1:12.596. So he's absolutely 1.1 seconds faster. He's pulling in massive time. He has 20 laps left. So at this rate, Bird is definitely not out of this at all. Let that be said. So that's going to be very, very, very interesting to see what he's going to do with that one there. Of course, the others aren't out of it either. On now with Steele. Steely is chilling away, having the crack. Nice. I love the sound out of the exhaust, especially when they go off throttle. The little kind of hesitation going back on it there. Brrr. That sounds like a misfire. Oh, I absolutely love it. It's a real nice spluttery sound there. We're going with Rookie there. So he's only 1.8 seconds off Ludolf now. This could be quite interesting. Ooh. You won't be getting anywhere doing that though. He's lost over half a second for going sideways there. Kind of need to be patient. Just need to be a bit patient. Everything will come to those who wait. Good things come to those who wait, as they say. I'm just going to open back up that for myself. Sorry about that. So just want to keep an eye on the tyre wear and everything. Just for myself. Brilliant stuff. Okay. Oh, and in the pits we have Eve is in the pits. It's another new wing. Hopefully she's going to go with the harder compound tyre now and just go to the end. So she goes away there now. A nice camera view. That's one thing I hope EA put into the game where I can actually control the cameras myself like I do in ACC, because I would absolutely have a ball doing this, because it's a good looking game, this. And Evie's out on the hard tyres now, so she's going to the end. Fair play to her. You don't get points for quitting, you get points for finishing. And there we have the beautiful view of the harbour, and of course Steely going through that. It's a nice time of evening now. The sun splitting through as well, always looks really nice. Nice one there from... Now we'll jump on with Eve for a lap as well. I want to give everyone a little bit of time out there. So Eve now will have those hard tyres nearly up to temp, I'm sure, by now. And she'll start to feel the difference of having the wing back with fresh tyres. Getting the apex is lovely. Oh, you don't want to take that curb too much. It could send you on a one-way ticket to the barrier. She's done a good job there. She just needs now to continue on. Nice stuff. Tiny kiss of that curb, but gets away with it. Up into turn one, you need to go straight enough to the left as much as you can. Get the braking on, get the turn in. Normally run a bit wider though if you want to carry more speed through it, and away she goes up the hill. It's all about patience here. It's a fast corner. Drop it down to about fifth. Back on the throttle. Keep it to the right down, avoiding the bump, and back to the left to go to open up the corner. You will always tend to get a bit of understeer there, but once you get the turning done early enough, it'll grip up for you, and you can trust in the aero and the bit of mechanical grip that you have there. Of course, this being distorted, oh, she hits the barrier there, but gets away with it. Because normally that section is all about tyre and mechanical grip, nothing else. Aero isn't really working at those kind of speeds. And away she goes down now towards the harbour. Lovely, lovely. That's a nice shot there. You get to really see the speed of it there. So we have a yellow flag. Who is that for? Or was it for? Not showing me who it was. Back on with Evie as she finishes this lap. What lap time would she get for herself? A 1:13.8. So she's running faster than most people on track, to be honest. Except, of course, Bird is still flying. He's now only 7 seconds off Blunt, so Blunt is under massive pressure. There's no other way of saying it. And now Steely is starting to feel Captain Morgan is after having maybe one or two too many beers and is catching up. Just going to open back up the chat there as well in case I'm missing anything. with any of the viewers. As we're on lap 62 of 783. Second penalty for the race leader. Ugh. I don't understand where they're getting it. It has to be that chicane coming out of the tunnel, because that makes no sense to me whatsoever. Have to go around there now. It's back on with Steely there. So Steely still catching up to them. Although looking back further as well, rookie license 3.1 seconds now off Ludolf. So it looks like Ludolf has kind of had a bit of a break, but has got back into it there now and is absolutely flying on with this one. Jumping back up now to Steely. He's still trying to put the pressure on. About 1.1, 1.2 seconds. The gap between Morgan, although it's coming down there now massively. But then again, that's the real life delta. That's the closest it's been for a while. What's it going to be like on the exit? So it is actually getting closer. Steele is absolutely on it as they cross the line there now. A 1:14.0 for Steele, a 1:14.451 for Captain Morgan. So 4/10 in the difference. That was absolutely massive, that lap. So you can really see the difference with the tyre compounds and the life of the tyres now. Still the board is in the 112s, 112.968 last lap as well. So, you know, board is absolutely on it. It's now down to 6.6 seconds. Although to be fair about it, Blunt is a 1:13.6, so still a lot faster. The race leader 1:14.2 last lap as well. So really goes to show the guys are giving it everything out there. Blunt is very aware that if he drops about another 3.3 seconds or so with the time penalty, that's going to be Board's position. So Blunt is probably going to have to try and consider, maybe if I was him now, pitting and getting onto a fresh set of tyres and grabbing the fastest lap. Because if you know, realistically, he's probably going to lose that position with the time penalty at the pace that Board has at the minute, continuously in the 112.866 last lap to versus his 113.7, and still in the 14s is Little Mick. So, you know, realistically, yeah, I'd be pitting this lap, put on a fresh set of softs, having a blast for a few laps, getting that fastest lap, getting that extra point in. He's not going to get a few points for the clean race either, as Little Mick. Board will get that. So essentially Board is getting more points than the race winner. Sorry, it might be even points, although he might be 1 point ahead with the fastest lap. So, you know, it's all down to how you look at this. I know for me, I'd be like, get in the pits, get the fresh tyres on. I can pit and still come out ahead of Captain Morgan. And it means then I'll have a blast for 10 laps or so. EV Parasite, just take it easy and finish the race, my baby, Mr. Parasite. Ah, that's what I love to see. That was a lekker thing to say. I'm sure that you're South African as well, so if I can say a lekker, you'll understand. Hopefully you don't have to deal with, what is it called again? Bear with me 1 second. Oh, my mind's gone. I can't even think right now. I'm going to jump back on with Steele because he's massively close now to fighting with Captain Morgan Beard. Shed loading, that's what I'm thinking of, Mr. Parasite. Hopefully, wherever you are in South Africa, you don't have to deal with shed loading, or if you do, you've got a big, beautiful generator ready to get going. Because I know from doing the ACC endurance races with the South African boys, sometimes if there's load shedding on, and if it's a bigger phase load shedding, you might have to put an extra few hour stints because they'll be gone an extra few hours and that. So very well aware of it. Luckily enough, there's a huge South African following in ACC and PC, and of course that's what I mainly do. So I love that. I just love it as well. Race Face is a name of community from the South Africa logistical nightmare race, and another one. They're all great lads. Sean Shup, Paul Venter, and all the guys. And here we go now. 0.3 of a second off Steele from Morgan Beard. Now, does Morgan Beard let Steele by the way he done with Board? Or is he just going to have to try fight this one? No, he's letting him by. Oh, that's a ballsy one. I don't know if he's letting him by. It was maybe just a difference in speed and it looked a little bit different. But away they go. I tell you one thing. If you go back to that corner, there's probably a smell of poo right there for that one. But they live to fight another day. Still, he's lost out nearly over half a second because of that. But they live, as I say, to fight another day. And Bird is now 4.6 seconds off Blunt. So Bird having the race of his life out there. And could still get driver of the day, in my opinion. So back on from Mr. Oh, you're not affected by KOS. Nice one. That's good. Yeah, because I know it can be quite annoying for some of the guys that do race in the ACC side with us. Because with the endurance stuff, you know, you could be available all night and they have to work around their load shedding. So at least you get to know that in advance as well, which is quite nice. Oh, big hit into the wall there. She keeps it going. Let me look at the front wing. Yeah, it's and play. She might as well go in now and get a fresh set of tyres on and try and beat Wolf's time there of a 112, 145. So if I was the likes of Blunt now, I'd be jumping into the pits, getting a fresh set and trying to get that extra 1 point as well. Ah, you've got the backup system as well, that's good. Yeah, once you have a Jenny there, you're normally fine. Like, I know 2 or 3 of the guys have the Jennies ready as well. So it's not normally an issue for them guys, thankfully. And they've got some sort of a switch where it automatically transfers the power over, so it doesn't really affect them while driving, which is good. Right, so while Evie is racing, I'm going to jump back onto Steele. He's now down to about half a second off Captain Morgan's, and let's see what they can do here now. Heavy on the brakes, away they go. So now half a second off, DRS wide open. Not really going to do much coming up into turn 1, but if he has the grip, he can get a better exit up the hill again. And the only thing is, we can tell from what Liam done and what Perez did in real life, it doesn't normally work going up this hill. You look at the difference in grip there. Steele has a shed load more. So what Steele needs to do now is just wait and put the pressure on. I think eventually Captain Morgan seems to be passive enough. He'll let him get by and not affect his own race too much. Because of course you've got that looks like Wolf, was it behind? So, you know, anything can happen here. On board now 2.3 seconds. I'll be keeping a keen eye on that. Got 9 laps to go for them, or 10 laps to go essentially. This is what it's all about. When I jump back on with board now, less than 2 seconds, he is absolutely tuning up. He done a 113.329 last lap, while Blunt done a 114.619, and then Mick done a 114.566. So last lap alone there, you're talking what, 1.1 seconds, nearly 1.2 seconds faster than the race leader, 1.2 seconds faster than the P2. So yeah, he's absolutely flying. We do have a yellow flag, but it's gone and back on. I don't really see any major change timing wise, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Oh, it's actually Eve. What has happened there? Oh, that's a huge shunt by the looks of it there. She's keeping it going anyway, that's the main thing. Oh, she's got the puncture as well. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I'm surprised that isn't a safety car. But then again, there's so little on track, it'd be crazy if it was. And that's board gone by Blunt. Blunt's not even decided to fight for it. He's just like, go on, get out of here. Now board is on the fight for Little Mick. He'd want to be pulling nearly 2 seconds a lap now to pull up at this stage, but for me, board 100 million bazillion % gets driver of the day here. There's no other way of saying it. Not a hope in my eyes does anyone else deserve it here this evening. That's my humble opinion. as we've Steele and then Captain Morgan Beard still at it. Flying along. Grand job. Oh, that was a huge drop there by Wolf. Oh, a safety car now would be so tasty, but no, it is not going to happen. Oh, it would have been tasty. Let's not lie about that. I would have been foaming at the mouth then for a bit of racing. Can easily happen. Grand job. So yeah, it's looking quite nice there. So Blunt's dropped already 2.5 seconds off there. We've got a yellow flag. I'm assuming that must be Wolf, is it? Yeah, he's just struggling to get around. Not a bit of a wing on that joke now. It's like a little Formula Ford car. My qualis, Mr. Barnes. Can you understand your commentator this evening? Sure you can, sure we're chatting away about the load shedding and everything else, sure. Not a bother. How are you doing, Papa? You old flower. And I suppose just to say, Papa was actually going to be streaming tonight, but he didn't get the key to log in and stream, so unfortunately it was out of Papa's hands this evening as well, to be fair. Just so the guys know, Papa, you actually were trying to do the comms and log in. Steely now 1 second off Captain Morgan. I have a feeling now Captain Morgan is just going to be able to keep him behind. Like, looking at the lap times there. Yeah. Not a good one for him. And Blunt's in the pit, so Blunt is finally listening to me. He's going to go for that fastest lap. Fresh tyres on. Go on, you little lazy. That's what it's all about, Mr. Blunty. There you go, into the penultimate corners there now. You have Captain Morgan and Steely. Steely massively closer now as well. Blunt should be nicely out of those pits now. Going around turn 1 and out, which he is. So he gets clearly ahead of these guys. And Ludolf gets himself a 3-second time penalty. It doesn't really affect his race now. But if he was to have a safety car, he would drop down behind rookie license, because it takes about 2 to 3 laps for a safety car to go in. With so little laps of racing, I don't expect him to pull a few seconds clear. So hopefully for him, touch wood, there is no more safety cars there. But Captain Morgan doing a great job holding off your boy Mr. Steele. But yeah, that is all what we like to hear. Yeah, I know you are trying, mate. Sure, I seen it in the chat. And you need a new controller as you throw it and hit the wardrobe. Yeah, I understand the frustration. It's quite tough. Bird, Bird, the little snaky turkey's gone into the pits as well. Sure, he might as well. He's going to go for the fastest lap. He's going to defend it from Blunt. So we're going to have a few quali laps on our hands, guys. So let's see. The first troll will be with this guy, Mr. Blunt, as he starts his lap. Whoa. Look at that. He's pulled in quite a bit of time again. He's got the warm softs. Of course, going to take a few corners for Bird to get the softs up to temperature. But then it's going to be a dick swinging competition between the two of these of who can get the fastest lap. So while the race essentially will be a little mix, as little Mick now has gone in, we're going to have a fastest lap war. Everybody's giving it a go. Sure, Jesus. Sure, Ludolf, you should go into the pits as well. Or Steele should. And Wolf and get Eve back into the pits as well. Let's get everyone on fresh softs for the end. Let's see who can do what. So Blunt's going to be the first to throw down the gauntlet. Oof. Blunt absolutely flying up nearly a second through Sector 2. This is really getting into the crook of it now. So Blunt now is throwing it. So what can Blunt do? What's he going to do when he gets over the line? Not enough. 1:11.803. What? That was a lap and a half. Absolutely brilliant. Wow. Unbelievable stuff. What can Mr. Bird do in all of this? And then, of course, Mick as well. So 4% wear on Blunt's tyres now, 26 on Steels, 34 on Rookies, 1% on Mick's here. Mick can nearly get rid of it all. So on with Bird here, he's up a few tenths as well. So a few tenths on what he has, that brings him into the 111s as well. This is going to be very, very interesting here. He's the fastest middle sector now at the minute. He's giving everything hard on the brakes, locking of each corner. No, doesn't want to be doing that. The car didn't want to rotate there at all, but he's got it going. He needs to get a bit more trail braking in to get the corner. But this time here, a 110.913. That's a lap and a half. Now, Little Mick, what can you do? Can you do anything here? That was a lap and a half from Bird right there. So 111.8 for Blunt, a 110.9. Second faster, nearly 9/10 of a second. This is what it's about here. Little Mick, what are you going to do? Let me see your sector time here. Otherwise, I'll be jumping back onto Bird to see is he improving again. So, Little Mick, whoa, he's up a second. So that brings him down to about a 111.6. He needs to find at least the guts of another second in one split. I don't think he's going to be able to. Let's see, as he comes around here, what's his time going to be? A 111.1. Oh, that was getting close there now, so that's more like it there. Bird is not going to be improving this lap. That was a lovely lap there by Little Mick, but Bird still holds the fastest lap at the minute. Now, that last sector might have been good enough for another one. No, a 111.3 for him there. Blunt, 110.5. He got a cool down lap and it's gone again. These guys are trading laps. This is what it's about. This makes me happy. A few laps to go now. We have Mick still in P1. ERS, I can see the ERS levels as well. There might be a little bit of saving now in a minute, but no, Mick is absolutely on it. Still has enough to make it to the end, I'd say. Let's see what his sector time is this time around here. He's up again, so we are looking at a possible fastest lap here. Although he needs to gain a little bit more time because he needs at least another 2/10. But he's definitely, you can see the speed he's carrying. He's kind of having to adjust vigorously to try and get it through. This here is looking like a nice time. What's it going to be? Oh, 110.7 for him. What about Bird? Bird is on a build-up lap, I would say. What's Blunt doing here? I'm sure Blunt should surely be on a build-up lap as well. He's nearly no ERS left. He might turn it off for one more go. Yeah, 114. So while all this is going on, Steely's still having a battle. I do think maybe the best has gone out of those tyres now. So Blunt Blade definitely has floor damage. Steely has rear wing damage. I can see that as well. So when you share telemetry, I can actually see what damage is there, so I can explain to drivers what's going on as well, why they might be driving as fast. So there you go, guys. Sharing the info is vital if you want my live standings to work. I know I'm only covering for one race here, but we'll never know what happens in the future. And Ludolf still doing a good job here. Steely's doing a phenomenal job. But any minute now, we will be jumping back on, I would assume, to this guy, because he's on to the last lap now. It's been very, very good racing here this evening, guys. Guys and girls. And I want to thank everyone for jumping in and watching, because in fairness, ERC wouldn't have known that I was streaming on this, my own leagues and communities page, but we don't mind jumping in. Luckily, because I seen Papa didn't get the key, we were able to make this happen, which is good. And yeah, little Mick doing a great job here, coming through. Steely is going to need a miracle at this stage. He's just going to have to try and make a move happen, but at the same time, you don't want to be a hero, cause a big incident. And around we go, the last corner for the last time this evening. And little Mick is your race winner for the ERC Masters. P2 then, we'll jump on now with Bird as he's coming around here now. For me, he's my driver today, hands down. He done very well on those hards to make it work then, and was absolutely rocket ship fast in the end. Congratulations then for Bluntblade coming home in P3. Bluntblade gets the fastest lap of the race as well, so that's a nice little extra point there. Captain Morgan comes around next. And he's pulled away a bit from Steele now. I don't know if Steele had a bit of an incident, or incident if he feels like being a Ferrari driver like Charles Leclerc. As Morgan comes around there, wham bam, thank you man. And then Mr. Incident himself, Mr. Steele, then a P5. Comes across the line, then a P6 was Ludolf. P7 then for rookie license, P8 for Wolf, P9 for, is it Parachute, Eve. And EXO gets driver of the day, but in my opinion, and in my world, it is Bird. But Ludolf obviously done a great race in terms of positions, phenomenal. But yeah, no, 100% for me all day long. It was our boy Bird. But yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. So guys, thank you so much for jumping in the stream with myself. We'll run over the times one more time. Hotel race. So exactly in a row out with the DRFs. But that's the biggest thing. So Mr. Parasite, it's basically down to finishing no matter what, getting your points. And that's going to be for your team championship, the drivers championship. But don't forget, the drivers have a target to keep their seats as well. So she's absolutely hitting her targets as well. She's getting those points in, and that's what it's all about. As there is that bit of a celebration. We'll skip through that though, because I'm not a teenager anymore. Don't be looking at that. But yeah, I'll go back to the telemetry stream because that would make more sense. So that's the finishing positions there with the tires that they finished on and everything else, guys. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for watching. I'm going to throw the VOD into ERC in a second. Have a lovely evening. And don't forget, ERC are back on next Wednesday. And of course, I'm back myself on Wednesday, but for my ACC stuff on this channel. So it'll be back to normal for ERC next week onto the International Paddock channel as well. So not to get that mixed up either. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have an absolutely great evening no matter what yours are doing.